Let's get this fucking headset plugged in.
Much better. Okay, so today we're going to be building the Flirtatious Frog, a Rust console-based design. So our initial footprint is going to look something like this. So make sure you're able to put the base down in a spot that looks a little something like this. This is going to be wood, and we can just go ahead and upgrade the rest of this to sheet metal for now. We'll high qual what we need later. But for your core, if you're starting this out on as your first base on wipe day, what we can do is we'll take 3 triangles right here and go ahead and seal these off, place a double door. I'll just upgrade it to sheet metal for the sake of convenience for me, but obviously you would do like stone or wood or whatever. And this right here would be your starter. I'm going to go ahead and place a garage door on here, just because it's more convenient for me. We are going to be placing, not a box, let me get a, oh, that's not what I want. We're going to be placing our TC in this triangle. And you can either do the vending machine bunker here, or we can go ahead and do a window frame. I prefer doing the window frame just because it's simpler. I don't really like to overcomplicate my bases too much. And then right here, we can either, we'll place storage right here. Now, I will say, you need to, in order to utilize the space's utilities, you're going to have to expand it not too quickly. Also, this foundation right here needs to be raised. This needs to be a raised foundation right there, so we can seal the bunker. So, obviously, sealing, I'm sure everybody's seen this bunker before. You just upgrade it to high qual, break the foundation, and it breaks. Now, moving on, expanding the space, what I would recommend doing is coming right here, and we can go ahead and place 2 more half walls, place this triangle, and then we can place our stairs. I like doing these U-shaped stairs. It's acts just like a jump up. Or what you could even do is sometimes what I like to do is place a half wall and then place the floor here. Oops, did not mean to do that. Let me go ahead and replace that. Man, my phone is getting blown up today. Let me check it. Okay, nothing important right now, but sometimes I like to place this little jump up thing right here in case I want to place temporary box storage. Like, if it's wipe day, we can go ahead and upgrade this to wood or something and then break it when we get off, you know, and use this as box storage. And then when we have this expanded, this will be our jump up right here. And there we go. So this is your starter right here, just 3 triangles and a square. And then I guess another triangle right here. So it's not the best, I'm not going to lie, it's not the best starter. This starter kind of sucks, but it's not hard to expand this base. You could easily expand this base in maybe 1 farm run. 1 farm run and you could for sure get to this next stage we're about to progress to. So next thing is that we are going to have to place a bunch of honeycombs. So let's go ahead and do that. This whole bottom floor right here is all honeycomb. Now, I would recommend upgrading these right here to sheet metal before you seal it off, but I understand that's not always possible. So what you could do is leave these 2 walls open, leave these 2 open right here, and seal it like this. So then when you're ready to upgrade all these to sheet metal, upgrade them to sheet metal. Make sure that foundation is sheet metal as well. Actually, this foundation should be high qual, if I'm being totally honest. If you can afford it, make this foundation high qual. It's extremely important. Make that foundation high qual if you can. this is fine being sheet metal, but this foundation, that's very important. Boom. And then we can rotate these so the hard side is facing this way and people can't soft side into our bunker. Then we can go ahead and seal this off too. Once again, we can rotate that so it's not, so people can't soft side into our bunker. Now, continuing on, like I said, I'm upgrading this to sheet metal just for my convenience of the base building, but you can upgrade most of this to stone, because later when we build the shell, you're going to be able to upgrade to sheet metal eventually, so don't worry about upgrading it to sheet metal like how I'm doing right now. Go ahead and place these. Alright, and here is the next level of progression. It'll be relatively easy to get to this stage. I don't think it would be too hard. Like I said, maybe one farm run and you could for sure do this on wipe day. What I like about this base is, now let's go ahead and start expanding. What we're going to do is we're going to seal off all of this with walls. And right here, we're going to have to do a little bit of expanding first. So leave all this open. We can upgrade this to stone for now. Totally fine being stone. Just note, right here, this will be honeycomb. So let's go ahead and upgrade that as well. Now these right here are going to be our jump ups. It's going to look a little bit weird having the jump ups go all the way back around, but I promise it'll make sense later in the build. Let's go ahead and seal our roofs off. There we go. Now, moving on with the base design, we're going to have to expand this out by 3 triangles because you want it to be even on this side. So if we're going to be placing honeycomb to honeycomb the bunker over on this side, we're going to have to do it the same on this side. So let's go ahead and place our honeycomb over here. Also, this is totally fine being stone. You don't have to worry about sealing this off and it not being sheet metal. It's fine. It's not going to make that much difference during the raid. So, just for the sake of convenience, I'm going to go ahead and honeycomb this as well, just to get it out of the way while we're here. Boom. And this is what the backside should look like. So we see we have the 3 triangles over here, but they're not on this side. So let's go ahead and add them over here now. Now note, our TC and core are right behind here, so it would matter a lot more to get these walls sheet metal, if possible. If not, it's fine. It's not going to make that much difference. You're probably going to get offline anyways. So make sure these are sheet metal so then you can upgrade the rest of this later. Go ahead and seal it off, and here we are. This part right here we're going to seal off as well. And this will be our front area, so the way you're going to enter this base, we're going to enter from the front right here. So for now, we're just going to leave this as a double door frame. Then we can place windows right here. We can place this here. This will be a window retake in case somebody's door camping or you're getting raided from the side. You can walk up here, place a door and seal it, all while being crouched right here. And then right here, we can go ahead and seal this off. Now, I always like to add an airlock on my base because I'm the type of person who just runs out of the base not caring about fucking shutting doors and shit, and sometimes I leave the entire fucking base open. Now, this airlock will prevent that, and it's really close to the core, so you just jump up, jump out, And then you got that airlock, so prevent people from going deep on you, maybe. Let's go ahead and add these jump ups now. So the jump ups are going to come out this way. And go ahead and upgrade these to stone. And our next jump up to our next story will be right here. And go ahead and upgrade this as well. Now here comes the open core part. What we have to do now is add honeycomb on this side, which can be completely stone, and you don't have to technically lace this one with a wall here. It's fine if you don't put a wall right here on this side of the honeycomb. You can just shell it. So for here, reduce costs of the raid by just shelling it instead of placing this wall right here. And then that will give us a little bit more room to play with when we get up here. Let's go ahead and add that on the other side. And you totally can add a wall here. I just prefer not to, since it's 1 layer of honeycomb, 2 layers of honeycomb, 3 layers of honeycomb, and then you're at the armored wall. So if somebody hypothetically blew your base right here, they'd have to go through 1 layer, 2 layers, and then 3 layers of honeycomb, and they're still not even at the core. So shelling that, in my opinion, is honestly better to reduce upkeep costs slightly. Sometimes that extra hour of upkeep can make a big difference. Now, let's go ahead and work on this open core. So what we're going to do here is add a mini open core. I guess it technically wouldn't be mini, but that's fine. Whatever. Now, I will note, you can either choose to make roof retakes here or add another 2 loot rooms. I'm doing the 2 loot rooms just for the sake of the video, but I'll show the roof retake version here shortly. And then our roof entrance will be right here, which is why it depends on, like, if you're playing on a weekly, I would probably say do the roof retake, which I'll do for this design, but right here you can add a whole other loot room. Or maybe you can do something else with it. Maybe you could, you can honestly do so much with this space, I'd leave it up to the discretion of the builder to do whatever they want. Go ahead and upgrade the rest of this. Now this base will have 2 pixel gap externals. Let's go ahead and upgrade that. Now let's do I'll go ahead and upgrade these real quick. I'll place all the frames while I'm at it. Now, let's go ahead and start on this roof retake. What we're going to do is place a half wall, place 3 triangles, then we're going to place a single door frame, and then a window. This right here will give us full vision of the front door. And sometimes having this roof retake can save wipes. If somebody's raiding down here, they raid through the front door, you're getting top-down raided. being able to get in here, maybe sealing this area off and having like a bed right here with you can fit a bed and a locker right here. You could even fit another bed inside of here. So I would say you could even fit, I think you could squeeze 3 beds in here. Put boxes under here, maybe an auto turret, and having a bed and a locker right here. Being able to see right here and retake this roof area is crucial. Now, next thing we are going to do is build up this honeycomb. Being able to use your jump ups efficiently without them being blown up by MLRS or just raided through the raid path is very important with online raid defense. Because if you can't access your shooting floor and your bedrooms, then what's the point of having them? So making sure this is all honeycombed is very important in my opinion. Let's go ahead and add these bedrooms now. So we can fit 2 beds right here and a locker, and the same right here. We're going to go ahead and add, we can fit an auto turret pod here to cover this whole area, which is what I would recommend. Once you get to this point in progression, I'd say it's a good point to stop and build one of your externals. Especially if you're building on a day that's not like, that's not VP wipe day, because people are going to be raiding really quick, and having 1, 2, 3, 4 doors to your, basically your core. So now let's go ahead and finish expanding this a little bit. We can play. Oh, and this is going to be a jump up as well. I almost forgot to mention that. To go ahead and get started on your externals. We could even go up one more and build our full jump up. Now I will say this is the furthest I expanded this base on the server, or last time I built it. Also right here, this can also be shell. You don't have to place walls in between. We can just go ahead and shell this off. So after I built these externals, I'm going to get a little experimental, but so far, this is how the base should be expanded. Now let's go ahead and work on those externals. We're going to start with 1 square foundation, and then you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we're going to go ahead and break the rest of these. And then build back with triangles. Now, if you did this correctly, it should connect just like this. Now we can go ahead and break the rest of these. Moving on back, we can upgrade these to stone. And then we're going to go ahead and figure out how I did the pathway over here, because I honestly forgot. I believe I did it like this. Yes, I believe that is correct. So we're going to go ahead and do the pathway like this. Alpha this triangle, build out 1, place a square, place another triangle. And perfect, you have your first external. The way we're going to connect this is by building out 1, 2, 3, and then build out 1 more square. This square we will keep, the rest we will not. If you even wanted to make this a bit easier on yourself, you could go ahead and upgrade this one instead. This is fine as well. This is how we will have our first external. Go ahead and upgrade this. Now we're going to upgrade this external like this. Now, the way I like to pathway this external's doors is like so. Go ahead and face the TC facing this way. Lock it. Door, I mean not door, half wall, wall. And we're going to place triangles going up this way. Here, I want you to put a double door frame. Here, I want you to put a single door frame. And then here, put another double door frame. And have it facing the base. Another thing I like to do is to upgrade the TC foundation to metal. Because if somebody blows into your external by rockets, they're going to have to break the TC as well. Instead of just blowing the foundation and the TC immediately breaks. It only costs like 75 metal or 100 metal to do, and off the initial rockets it'll save you a bit of time when conducting a raid defense. Now we're going to place a frame here and then connect over this way with triangle frames. The way you disconnect this external is by placing a foundation here and then placing a square roof like so. And that will disconnect your external so you can replace your TC in case it gets broken. One moment, I'm going to go ahead and pause the stream. I need to go change out my washer. I'll be right back. moving on with the base design, we're going to go ahead and connect this external. Now what we're going to do is come here, place 2 door frames, and then place a single door right here. This will be our main entrance to the shell. Now what we're going to do next is build a airlock with this single door. Whichever way the door comes in, you want to build your single door on that side. So then the doors will connect like this. Then you will have yourself a nice airlock. We're going to go ahead and place windows here. And you can either place a window here or a door frame, so then you can place a shop front. I prefer to place a window here because later in my build I like to place half walls here and then place barrels right here or shotgun traps, so then we can use those as depot. Now let's go ahead and build the other external now that this one's connected. It will be the same thing on this side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Build back with triangles. And there we just went and replicated what we did on the other side. So let's go and place this, build 3 triangles out, break this one, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we can break these triangles and break this square. Upgrade the triangle, build 2 out to the left, grab yourself a TC, go ahead place it right in the middle, lock it, half walls, wall, wall, triangle, 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 double door, single door. Alright, there's our TC built. Now let's build this gatehouse. We're going to go ahead and place a frame. Triangle, triangle, frame, frame. Now we're going to connect with double door, and then a single door frame. Now let's go ahead and get ourselves 2 more single doors. Place this one in. It opens to this side, so this is the side we're going to be placing our frame on. There we go. Alright, now that this is all connected and we have both of our externals built, now let's work on the shell. So we could go one of 2 ways about this. One, we can either have it connect by building off of here, or we can overextend these externals by a bit. I prefer just having it connect to the main TC. I feel like that makes it more easy for me. How that rhymed? But just for the sake of the video, let's go ahead and play with the idea of overextending these externals, because I believe making 4 externals on each side is a bit too much. That it really doesn't make any sense to require 4 externals for your base to work. That's too much to maintain. And especially if you're playing like a weekly, it doesn't really make sense to have 4 externals. At least, well, 4 externals, but not 4 externals just so you can have a fucking shooting floor. That doesn't make any sense. If we were to do it the normal way, what we would do is just come here and we would just connect it like so. And that's it. This is all we would do if we were to connect it this way. But I do want to minimize main TC upkeep, because sometimes you need to get off for a few days, and so we're gonna go ahead and make sure we get this correct. You see, this would not work here. So what I would recommend doing is something like this. This is, we can meet in the middle. Meet in the middle, do a little bit off the main TC, and do a little bit off the externals. Now, something I've been playing with the idea of is going here. Oops, didn't do that. Going here and then here. Now, this, I've never seen another base do this. This one might be, I probably didn't invent this. I guarantee there's some fucking kid who's done this on one of their base designs, but for the most part, this is the idea. We go here, place 2 half walls. Now, it will have to be different since there are no, this isn't connected to the stability of here. So what we would do is we'd place door frames here and here. These top halves get upgraded. Demolish the bottom half, stability still stays. Place low walls. And then what we'll do from here is place an auto turret. So then, while we're here, this auto turret can see inside of your shell. So if people are running around it, it'll limit raiders' mobility around your base, and it also will cover half of your compound. As long, if you hug the wall, let's say we're here. If you hug the wall, it won't be able to see you. But the second you step out, it will be able to shoot you. Because the visibility path looks something like this. So the second you step out, it will be able to see you. But we'll go ahead and expand more on the idea of that later. Let's just go ahead and add it to the other side now. Now, I wouldn't say this base is too expensive, because I've built bases way more expensive than this, and the raid cost is quite hefty. Auto turret here as well. Now here we go. We can go ahead and build up the rest of our shell now. Here we go. Let's build this up one more floor. Now we are going to do something a little different for right here. I want you to place half walls on top of these little gates that we have here, and then place triangles above them. Now we may change this later, but what I want you to do is to place roofs windows right here. May change it later, so I would watch the rest of the video just to make sure. But for the most part, we're going to have another auto turret placement right here. So then our shell will have full coverage. This side will have coverage. Even without these external auto turrets, we'll still have full coverage of the shell with these two auto turret placements. Now it looks like we're gonna have to build up. Wait, no, never mind. I was about to say it looks like we're gonna have to build up one more story, but I was on the wrong side of the base, so we are good. Now, I was playing with the idea of making roofs of the roof peaks here, but I didn't really like that idea since its purpose was already being served by the base being a pixel gap itself. So what we're going to do instead, in order to get full coverage of our base, is first I need to find the stability so I can actually place a two triangles here. I suppose we could. Ooh, that might be a good idea. Bring these up. No, that's not a good idea. Let's just put frames right here. Yes, I like that idea much more. Go ahead and build these up by frames. Now, we should have the stability now. We do. What we're going to do is come here, place windows and windows, and then we're going to place a half wall, place ourselves a little shooting thing right here. So now when we drop down here, we can see both doors on either side, and give us some more shell retake potential. We're going to go ahead and do this on the other side now. And there we are. So that is those two sides finished. Let's go ahead and start working on our front side. I believe from here we can just completely fill out this entire shooting floor. Because like I said before, the purpose of the connecting everything to main TC is solved, or not connecting everything to main TC. The purpose of having these pixel gaps is solved by having, or there's no reason to have more peak downs if you can do everything with these pixel gaps. So there's no point of having any more peak downs than we already have if these two angles right here, over here, and over here are solving a purpose that we need, which is being able to retake our shell. and you can also retake the shell from the pixel gaps itself. Something I do want to mention, just in case you're playing with this, if you're playing with this base design, you're like, oh yeah, I like that way more. What we're going to do here, something that I thought was kind of cool, was when I was playing around with this base design, is we came here, not sheet metal, came here, and then we go ahead and, oh, wrong one. Came here, broke this, and upgraded this to upgraded that to stone. Now, what we did from here was we went and replaced a door frame, and then you can seal this off however you want to. But what my idea was being able to have this little grenade chute here, which is perfect for killing somebody in your shell if you know where they're at. So you could place this on each side of the base, like you could get rid of the bedrooms or something and have one on each of where these squares are, and being able to throw a nade down, and it would land inside of your compound. Or not inside your compound, inside your shell. Getting rid of this door frame is going to make it a lot easier to throw the nade, so there's no bounce back. You can see it goes straight down and blows up in the shell. Just an idea I was playing with. It wasn't very convenient to me later, but it's just something I was messing with. So if you like that, go ahead and incorporate that into your base design. Oops, I built off the wrong one there. Like I said earlier, making sure your base is even is a huge part. So let's go ahead and make sure it is all even over here. Now we have this kind of open area. Something I was considering doing was having either a jump up right here, or leaving this open, and then we have just one entrance to our roof. However, when we have this one entrance to our roof, we'll also have this area completely covered by an auditory, which could be worth more than having another jump up. So we're going to go ahead and mess around with that idea and expand the base with just this one jump up. Now, something I will mention is before expanding and upgrading everything I'm doing in this video, I would recommend watching till the end of the video to see if I change anything, because I really don't even know where I'm going with the base at this point. I didn't fully build it past this point, so we're going to see where it goes. You could also add a what's it called, a window here if you'd like, just to have full coverage of your base. That's totally fine. Sometimes I just like having it covered, but this is totally fine. So then you have 360 coverage of your base. Now we don't have any stability for this, so let's go ahead and solve that problem. Figure out a solution. Still not enough stability, so that's not enough. Let's add another one here. Still not enough. Let's go ahead and find some more stability. What we could do is we could place frames right here, and another frame right here. Let's see if that adds enough stability. Okay, now we have enough on one side, not enough on the other side. We could place a frame going up the middle here, and then we could connect it in the middle using a half wall. This will give us enough stability. This right here is going to give us 2 more auto turret placement locations. Now we have the same stability problem, so let's go ahead and implement our solution. I believe if you just place this there, that should solve the problem for you. I don't believe you need to do the rest of the stuff I did on the other side. Yes, that is true. So let's go ahead and delete some of the things we did over here. Like, and this is fine. These frames are fine. But like this and this is unnecessary. Let's go ahead and add those frames right here. This is where we are currently at in the base progression. What did I do on this side? Oh yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and seal this over on here. This is what we got so far. Not looking too shabby. Okay. From here, like I said, I don't really have a plan from this point on. This is all I really have planned out. From here, you could add, let's go ahead and add a roof on each of these squares, and then you could go ahead and do, I don't know, something like half walls, frames, or I mean, window frames, go ahead and then place here, place that. Who is throwing shit at me? I don't know what that fucking noise. What is that fucking noise? Where is this motherfucker at? I just saw your little bitch ass. Anyways. Go ahead and do the same thing on this side. And then we could have full auto turret coverage of the roof. Your roof probably being the most fucking protected place in the entire base with all these auto turrets. Having 4 up here. And no, we've only placed, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. We've only placed 8 auto turrets. So you still have 4 more spots that you can place auto turrets. And your shell and roof are completely covered. So you have 4 auto turrets to place throughout the base. I would recommend placing at least 1 here, and then going down 1 more level, placing 1 here. Now, if you really want to protect your open core, which might be your best idea, we could place 1 here, and then place 1 here, or we could go down a floor, place 1 here, have your the entrance to your bunker covered, and then we could place 1 inside the bunker itself if we have space, but if I'm being totally honest, you're not going to. So we can place 1 here at the jump up. You could even place 2 if you'd like, but then we have 1 more to place somewhere. I would recommend placing it right here. So then we have our first level covered. We have our open core covered by 2 turrets. We have our bedrooms covered by 1 turret. We have our roof covered by 4 turrets, and then we have our shell and compound covered. So this turret right here will cover half of the compound, and this turret right here will cover the other half of the compound. I wouldn't recommend having these turrets as giving you full compound coverage. I would recommend making some funnel walls right here. So what we would do, giving raiders a good little trap, place doors like this, and then what we can do is get some shotgun traps. Either we can place them on the compound walls, or we can place them on the base walls itself. I'll go ahead and give you an example. We can angle them at a way to where they will shoot from the inside, which it might be easier to show you with compound walls. So let me go ahead and do that. There we go. The compound wall is placed, and then you can place it like this. The shotgun trap is almost unseeable. Like, let's say we're standing right here, you're completely unable to see that shotgun trap. You drop down, and then you're sprayed. You can do it on that side as well. If you're having trouble, let's say we place the compound closer to the front or in the middle right here. Probably the middle is the better option. And you're having trouble, what we can do is place a foundation here. and go ahead and angle it off of this foundation right here. So then you can do the same thing on the other side, and then you'll have some more coverage of your base. I'd recommend doing that on this side and this side, and then if your compound is narrow enough, what we could do is place some more shotgun traps like along your compound wall, kind of making it into like a mini funnel wall. I'm not very too educated on even what a funnel wall is, but that's what I'm imagining it to be. Something similar to a funnel wall. And then your shooting floor can look something like this. We would probably go ahead and get some like roofs right here and here. Maybe right here and here as well. Design this any way you want. We could put fucking vending machines up here, whatever. But as long as your full TC is covered, like you don't, or not TC, full roof is covered, you don't even necessarily need these. These are completely optional. You could break those and place them anywhere up here. We could, if you want to go ahead and place them somewhere over here. If you build it close like this, I'd recommend a funnel wall, but like how I was showing earlier when you expand the externals, if you go out by another square and do it, then I would recommend building a shooting part like this, placing the auto turret on top, and then go ahead and placing your compound walls as close as you possibly can to this front part here. Let's see if I can go ahead and get the right angle. There we go. Placing it like this and then putting your barricade on top, placing the auto turret here, you'll have 100% coverage. So, you know, I'll leave that up to you. You can do what you'd prefer with that, but as long as you have enough space up here to drop your mini on, you can place more floors and expand it how you like, but that's pretty much the base design. The reason I have this part all open right here is because I like to incorporate farms in all of my bases. So what we would do is we'd place planter box here, and we'd place another one here. And then you do the same thing on the other side. So then this area just becomes like a fucking war zone. If somebody's raiding through the front door, or if they're raiding through a wall over here, this area is just your fucking play zone. So this is where people are going to be breaking into first. And that is the design. I'm going to go take a nap now.